Hello friends, it is the last day of February and that means that I have closed my budget out and I'm showing all of you guys all the money moves that were made this month. And I actually am really excited because I just checked and I hit a new net worth milestone. I actually hit 300K net worth, which is a huge number. I saw it coming last month, but I wasn't sure I was gonna hit it. And that's pretty incredible for somebody who's been talking about her life on the internet for the last 10 years. And when I started, I was at negative 33K net worth and made no money. So let's jump into how that came about this month and let's jump into it. By the way, I'm Sarah, also known as Budget Girl. And if you don't budget, I think that you should. Honestly, for your own good. Nobody's gonna make you. I'm not gonna make you. And I also don't have a ton of opinions on how you should budget. I think you should budget how it works for you. For me, I use this Google spreadsheet that you can get in my Etsy shop. But if you are a pen or a paper person or an app person, I say absolutely more power to you. Just actually track your money because that's what's gonna get you to your financial goals. And that has worked for me. So let's jump into my February 2022. First off, I made my normal $4,433.27 from my day job at Texas A&M. And then this is gonna look real funky and I'm gonna have to explain it. I made $8,000 from Budget Girl, but not really. Give me a second. And then $282 from my properties. Now, normally that's closer to $550, but we had some repairs. And as a good landlord, as an ethical landlord, I make repairs happen and make them fast. So we invest back into our properties. So my total income for the month was $12,750, but like I said, not what you're thinking. I did something weird with Budget Girl and we're gonna get to it. So I did have a really big gas bill this month. It was $330. We had a sudden cold snap in Texas, and where my house, the heat's powered by gas, where it's normally about $50 a month, all of a sudden it was $330 a month. And there's not a lot I can do about it. And then also electricity was like $200. So it was a very expensive month for just house. Over here, let's go down. I don't actually have like a mortgage because my two properties pay for my mortgage, and we'll get into that in a second, but it's not on here. It didn't pay anything for this house for lawn, and didn't have to pay into car insurance. I've got a sinking fund for that. It's fully funded. My phone was $43. Gas for the car was $28. Electrical, $205. Groceries, households, almost $500, which is a little bit over. That's about 100 over what I want to spend. But I don't know if you can tell, I was sick for the last third of the month. I got really terrible bronchitis and I was out of work for several days and my voice has still not recovered. I don't like it. Jacob says he likes it, but it hurts. And I am very lucky that it's coming back even a little bit. I'm still coughing a little. Personal spending, I actually didn't end up really spending anything for personal money, but I had a bunch of like sick expenses. I know this looks like I spent an absolute ton on eating out, but for all I wanted was to like drink liquids. So went out to get sick tea a bunch of times, and I had an MD lab appointment over here. And so what I ended up doing was just taking a bunch of the sick expenses instead of having them in restaurant, because a lot of it was just me going and getting something to soothe my throat, and then just making that its own little subcategory because I also ran out of room. So about $130 on prescriptions, on all the Gatorade in the world, all the medicine in the world, MD Live appointment, which didn't help, so then I had to go to the urgent care. So it was $132, and I just stuck it into my personal fund. I only spent $80. I was too sick to spend any money on anything other than food this month, apparently. So I was at about $230 for eating out. We did go out to eat for Valentine's Day before I got sick, and then it's just a bunch of like little piddly expenses, and then also groceries. I just went to Sam's too, so that bumped it up over that $80 at Sam's. I could have made it till the 1st. I should have waited. Let's see, I spent, my subscriptions are Kindle Unlimited and Apple Storage, and I also have a miscellaneous bar over here. This was dog nail trims for Rory and the Aussies, some medication refills, and then for clothing, I bought a new pair of Birkenstocks, but I kind of didn't. So I bought these Birkenstocks off of Poshmark for $80, but I also sold my other Birkenstock clogs that were blue. I just wasn't getting like enough wear out of them in my wardrobe. So now I kind of have that like $60 Posh credit in there. So I kind of just traded my shoes. And then y'all remember last month, or if you saw my Nuuly video, I bought a dress from Nuuly from my subscription there last month. It was $37 and I used it to repair one of my favorite dresses. And I still think that's a frugal win. So I have $121 for clothing. And then I also had a small gift for Jacob for Valentine's Day. So my total expenses were $1,862. And then for savings, so that's about 60%. For savings, I put $500 into a future REI fund and just future opportunities, $100 into the wedding fund, and then $500 into my Roth IRA. I know that's not totally maxing it out. I need to update it. I just haven't wanted to. So my total expenses were just under $3,000. Now let's move into my two businesses, which is Budget Girl and also my investment properties. So for Budget Girl on YouTube, I made $261. So thank you so much for watching videos in January. And I also made 60, 70, 80 bucks off of Etsy. Now what's weird here is this $7,600. And that is everything I made off of sponsorships in 2024. I kind of forgot to pull that money out of the platform that the agency that I contracted with to do those sponsorships uses until I got an email this month that was like, hey, here's a little piddly affiliate thing for $36. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go log in. And it shows that I did not withdraw that money once last year. This is a giant fail. One, for tax and accounting purposes, because now that's gonna look like I got paid this year for stuff that I got paid for last year, and I'm gonna have to deal with that later. Sorry, future Sarah. And two, I could have been sitting on that money, earning interest off of it and stuff. So yeah, that payout was for, looks like 3 videos and some commissions. I was really busy last year redoing the house and everything like that. I don't even really remember doing those sponsored videos, but as you can see, I don't do a lot, but this was how much I got paid for a year of sponsored Budget Girl content. Then now you know. So it looks like I made this $7,000 this year. I'm gonna take half of that out for taxes, you'll see in a minute, and the rest I'm just gonna save. But yeah, I need to be better at that because you should never have money just sitting in a place like PayPal or Venmo or some other like account. You should have it in the places where it's like earning you money. High interest savings account, I'll have some of those recommended below, or at the very least, like you should know where all your money is. It shouldn't just be everywhere. So big fail on me for that, and I will pay for it later. My expenses for the month for Budget Girl were pretty normal. G Suite, Cloudflare, DigitalOcean, my video editing subscription, etc. comes out to about $500. And so take home from Budget Girl is gonna be $7,564. Half of that is gonna go away to taxes. And then the other half I'll save. So, and then for Budget Girl properties, my first duplex, both tenants paid. One paid late, so there was a $50 late fee. I give my tenants until the 5th of the month to make a payment. After that, there's a $50 one-time fee, and that's just to keep people paying, and it's not a daily fee or anything. They paid on like the 10th, and they only got charged $50. There was also I had to pay for the lawn to be mowed once, which was $50. I cover lawn care in my rental, and I had and the tenant on the A side of my old duplex had a leak in one of her bathrooms. In the sink, we went over, I replaced the P-trap, that didn't fix it. And so I called Ryan, my contractor. I was also very sick at this point, and I was just like, I think it's the gasket. I can't quite get to that with my tools and everything. He went in, replaced the gasket, and he noticed that it was draining really slowly, and he recommended that we do a drain snake, which is unfortunate because it's like $250, but I believe in preventative maintenance. I'm not gonna let like a slow draining sink that is eventually gonna cause a bigger problem just sit there. I like to fix things quickly and efficiently, and I'd rather fix things sooner rather than later. So he goes in, he does the drain snake, and he finds Orbeez, fresh Orbeez, completely clogging up the pipes, and the tenant's kids put them down. Now here's the thing, I didn't charge the tenants for this. She reported the leak soon. The Orbeez probably caused the leak. But it's all fixed now. It didn't cause like a massive destructive plumbing thing. Cost me $250 overall, plus the $20 in my time. But I essentially said, like, if it happens, tell the kids not to flush Orbeez. or other stuff down the sinks. And if it happens again, I'm gonna have to charge you, but this time it's gonna be gratis. Y'all let me know if that's the way that your landlords would have done things, or you would have done things if you're a landlord. I understand that sometimes kids happen, and I would rather encourage my tenants to like come to me if there's an issue, even if it's their fault, and you know, we'll figure things out. So that costs $270. That came away from my total take home for properties for the month, but that's also fine. That's why there's a little bit of wiggle room in there between what the property costs and what I rent it for this maintenance issues. So I brought home $272.27 from my real estate investments this month. Go down to the bottom. So total take home was 12 grand, still weird. And then minus my expenses, BG expenses. Like I said, I'm putting $4,000 of this towards my taxes, because pretty much with creators, small businesses, half of the money you take in from sponsorships or anything like that, you don't have to pay in taxes. And then I'm putting the rest of the money that's left over, which is 6 grand, to my duplex emergency fund. So we are ending the month with a $0, zero base budget. And let's see how this affected my net worth. All right, so I looked today, 10 grand in the checking because of that 7 grand that just got transferred over. And then I had 7 grand in the duplex checking account. My mortgages haven't come out yet, so that'll go down by 4 grand by tomorrow. And then in my emergency fund slash my real estate investment savings, which is in a high yield savings account, that's at $39,452. And then my E-fund is currently at $3,298. I'll be transferring that 6K over into it, which will top out my E-fund again, which is great. But that's pretty much just gonna go from here to here. So the overall number is gonna stay the same. In short-term savings, I have $2,000. That's just a baby emergency fund. And then in my fund, I got a $100 check from my family for my birthday last month, and I didn't really know what to do with it. So I put it in there, and eventually I'll find something I want and I'll buy it with that. I've got about $3,600 in my car insurance sinking fund and about $2,000 in my wedding sinking fund. So $4,606 in my sinking funds, 49 grand in my total savings, and 67 grand in my total liquid assets. Scroll on down, my retirement actually went down a little bit this month. I'll show a chart, it's fun. $33,000 at my Texas A&M retirement, and then 51K in my Roth IRA, and 11 grand in my IRA, which is old Jobs's retirement accounts that I rolled into this one. So my total investments, $96,200, and total liquid assets, $163,615, not too bad. I'm keeping my property asset estimates the same, 300K for my first duplex, 272 for this one, and about 5 grand for my car. And then my debts are just my mortgages on these 2 properties. On duplex 1, I owe $206,267, and on duplex 2, I owe $233,461. Total debts is $439,728. As you can see, I owe less on both of these properties than they're worth. So that's good that I have some equity in there. So all this came down to bumping my net worth over the 300K mark. It was mainly that money that I had sitting in an account from all the sponsorships last year. Yeah, but you know what? We all make mistakes. So I'm at $300,000 net worth. This is a huge milestone. I'm very, very excited about it. I would love to know how your February went and what money goals are you currently working towards. I think I need to set another one because I had 300K net worth on my board, and I also have 100K invested for retirement as one of my goals. So I'm not quite to that second one, but we're gonna get there pretty soon. So what next milestone should I be looking at? All right, don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can get this budget down below if you want it. If not, just budget using something. Pretty please, for me, it works, I promise. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.